Well, good morning. There might be a bit of deja vu this morning because we've been here before. So I'm out on another backpacking trip, and I've actually started from the same place I started the last one. I've caught the train to Dorchester South Station, and in fact day one of this backpack is going to be exactly the same route as I did previously. I'm going to climb up onto the South Dorset Ridgeway and follow that past Hardy's Monument all the way to Puncknole, where I will camp for the first night. So that's about 14 miles. It's an absolutely beautiful morning, and the forecast is fantastic for the rest of this week. So it should be a fantastic time. So I hope you're going to join me. I will tell you more about it in a minute, but it promises to be a great few days, and I'm really looking forward to it. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll tell you more in a minute. And that's certainly a bit of deja vu, because that was there last time we came, but in fact there is absolutely nothing in this field at all. So walkers get a bad press, I think, in terms of not following the countryside code, but then, to be honest, farmers often don't either, because the code says if there's a bull in the field, you put the sign up, and if there is not a bull in the field, you take the sign down. And so many of them just put a sign up and leave it there permanently. Anyway, a minor gripe. So I just spotted this bakery on a farm, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere in some ways, with no through traffic really past the bakery, apart from me, and it made me feel hungry. And they do pasties and sausage rolls, but there was nothing cooked, sadly. So I had to leave it. So we're 4 miles in, and we are on the South Dorset Ridgeway, and in the distance you can see Hardy's Monument, which probably is where I'll stop for lunch again. That's what I did last time, so I think I'll do the same again. I'm filming less this day, of course, because I've filmed this already in my last backpack. But it's such a lovely day. It's absolutely glorious. So yes, buoyed by the success of my last 3-day backpack, I decided to embark on another one before the schools break up, really. So I've managed to squeeze in this one, which is, well, plan A is a 4-day backpack, plan B will be a 3-day backpack, and it will all depend on how my ankle holds up. I'm following the same route today as I did the first day of the last one, so that's Dorchester to Puncknole, where I will camp tonight, all along the South Dorset Ridge again. Then tomorrow will be different. The first part will be the same because I'll drop down from Puncknole down to the coast path. Last time I headed east towards Weymouth around the Fleet, which is a very flat route, but it all went well. This one is going to be much tougher because when I reach the coast path, I'm going to head west, and that's a much more arduous and tougher route. And obviously there's some steep climbs in the coast down there, notably Golden Cap, which I think I'm right in saying is the highest point on the south coast. And there's quite a few: Thorncombe, Beacon, Stone Barrow. There's quite a few big headlands I've got to get over, and if it all works out okay, my intention is to reach Beer in Devon, and I'll be camping on Beer Head, the other side of Beer, west of Beer, and then that'll be kind of the third night. And then the last day from there would be inland from Beer to reach Axminster, which is where I pick up the train home. So that's if it all works out. If it doesn't work out, and that's partly the reason I'm doing this route, is I can go inland from Charmouth, Lyme Regis, anywhere along there. I could turn inland to reach Axminster on the end of day 3, really. So it's going to be a 3-day or 4-day walk, depending on how the ankle holds up. And all 4 days are meant to be beautiful. So what I'm going to do is just walk west and make a decision basically during day 3 whether I continue to Beer or go inland. So that's the plan, and it promises to be fantastic. I mean, I've done this route numerous times down through the years, and it's truly amazing route, and I really love doing it. So yeah, I hope you're going to stay with me, because it promises to be fantastic. So as I was on the train this morning, I found myself thinking about this backpack and the backpacks that I've done down through the years, and I found myself initially thinking that a 4-day backpack a few years ago would have probably taken me something like 80 miles. And I kind of, it happens when you're getting older, I think, that you kind of, your mind tends to think about what you used to do. And those are the times I have to remind myself of a maxim that I came up with a few years ago, a couple of years ago in fact, when I was in the Lake District, which is focus on what you have, not on what you've lost or lack. And I think that's a really good maxim to live by, really. And when I think about that, I don't think I can't do the things I used to do. I think I'm so glad I can still do backpacking at all, especially bearing in mind last year when I was struggling to walk, even day walks at times. So yeah, just need to kind of keep a positive view, and especially, I mean, on a day like today, this is just magic being out today. Okay, it's 14 miles, tomorrow will be less than that. I'll probably average 13 over the 4 days, but that is amazing, and I'm so pleased with that. You just kind of have to remind ourselves every now and again. And today, I have to say, is near perfect. It's lovely sunshine, it's warm, but there is a nice level of breeze coming across this ridge, which is enough to kind of cool you down a little bit. And yeah, for me, it's perfect walking conditions. And this is such a great route. I'm walking in amongst sheep. And I like walking in amongst sheep. Well, more so than cows anyway. That is a magnificent view. That's looking back from where I've just come from. Just amazing. Looking all the way across to Portland and the Fleet and the Ridgeway, of course. Fabulous.
Yeah.
We stopping now then, or do you want to do a bit more?
No, we'll stop.
Alright, I'll drop him out here because they're probably dragging it back up. Hello.
Hi. Wow, that was amazing. So this is bracken rolling, apparently. It's using these rollers, which look like old car wheels, pulled by horses, to flatten the bracken. And apparently it's better than it's conservation. It's a conservation thing rather than using chemicals or cutting. Apparently this kind of breaks down the bracken a little bit each year, and grass will begin to take over a bit. That was amazing watching those. Absolutely awesome sight. Which this is as well, of course. Look at that amazing view. Just spectacular. It takes your breath away. And here is our dear friend Hardy's Monument, and lunchtime beckons. Well, my seat is available again. Lunch in the shadow of Hardy's Monument. What a great place. Well, I was going to try not to film too much today to preserve my battery. But look at this. It is a perfect day. 360-degree view from Hardy's Monument, where I've just had lunch. That is amazing.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Always good to air your feet at lunchtime and switch your socks round. There's another nice little spot to sit. Well, I hadn't spotted this before. Be still. Close your eyes. Breathe. Listen. Although to be truthful, I don't know why you'd want to close your eyes. Not when you're looking at this view. Let's remember that one. When I come again, if the top seats are busy, I can sit down there. So I've been having a productive thinking time while I've been having my lunch, because my ankle was quite bad, as it often is, late morning, going up towards lunchtime. It can be quite sore, and usually the lunchtime rest sorts it out. But I was thinking about walking poles and arthritic ankles, and this is serious here. If there's any walking pole designers watching on, this is what I need, I've decided. So normally when you walk with a walking pole, it's left foot and right hand. That's limited use. It's much better to go right foot and right hand, because that supports the ankle that needs the support. But that's limited use because you can't take much of your body weight when you're holding your pole at arm's length. So what I did coming up the hill to Hardy's Monument is to put my arm through the loop and grab the side of the pole. That way, and especially if you grip it into your side, you can actually use it like a crutch. If you can understand what I mean. So you're gripping it and you can take a lot more weight. So what I think would be good is to have a collapsible, some kind of collapsible handle that would fold out, and then when I go downhill I can use it almost like a crutch and hold on to the handle and take all my weight on the pole and help the ankle. So if there's any walking pole designers, or if anybody knows of one that exists like that, I might try putting something there, because your hand slides down the pole. So, but I think maybe if I were to put a fix something there, just to stop the hand from sliding, like a kind of handle-like thing, then that might help. I'm going to try that when I get back home after this walk. Meantime, if anybody knows of any walking poles designed for people with arthritis in their ankles that are kind of almost like semi crutches, and put a comment up, because that would be really helpful to me. Thanks. I'm still walking along the ridge, and I'm above Abbotsbury now. You can see the fleet down there where the Swannery is. St Catherine's Chapel on its hill, and this is one of my lovely grassy paths, nice and flat, great views. Lovely sunshine, a little bit of breeze. This is really good. So we're now at Abbotsbury Castle, Hillfort, and the heather's well in flower. That's really nice. It's a beautiful meadow. Really like this part. It's hazed over a little bit, as you can see. Sun's still up there, but it's just yeah, kind of hazy cloud, but yeah, still warm and beautiful. So if you watched my previous backpacking video, you'll know I'm getting fairly near now. This clump, I've forgotten what it's called, but the clump of trees there, I turn off just before that and head off to the right and drop down to Puncknole, which is where I'm camping for the night. And what you see in front of us is where we will be going tomorrow. So you can see Golden Cap with its distinctive shape and flat top. That'll be the day after tomorrow. But the headland this side, which is Thorncombe Beacon, that'll be on tomorrow's schedule, which is virtually as high as Golden Cap. And it's so hazy I can't actually see where Lyme Regis is, Charmouth. Can't see where Beer is unless that's the headland right in the distance. I'm not sure, can't make it out. Anyway, beautiful evening. It's been a phenomenal day. Puncknole. We're nearly here. Well, we are here, but what I mean is we're nearly at the campsite, but not quite. Beautiful colour. I shall be up here later. That's where I have my meal. And so I reach my campsite. All the bunnies are here to greet me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And looks like I've got the whole of the site to myself. That can't be bad. Now, where shall I pitch? That's very welcome at the end of a day's walking. Hot brew. I got a new gas cylinder and it's brewed, the kettle boiled in no time. I lit it and it was boiled. Amazing. So his tent is all set up. Sleeping mattress pumped up. My sleeping bag is out of its stuff sack so that it can also plump up, because it's a down sleeping bag, so just needs a little while just to fluff up, should we say, and then we're done really. That'll be time for a quick shower and then off for something to eat at the pub which we passed earlier. So I'm going to sign the video off at this point. It's been another fantastic day. It really has been. As I said, as I was walking, it's been the perfect day in terms of weather. Nice and sunny, but a breeze to keep us cool, and some amazing clear views. So it's been amazing. 14 miles of awesome walking. Sorry, it's that word again. I keep using the word awesome. I can't help it. It's amazing. It's just been a magic day, and I've absolutely loved it. And this evening it's still sunny now, as you can see, nice and bright. I've pitched my tent somewhere where I can hopefully see the sunset tonight and also see the sunrise in the morning. That's the plan anyway. And yeah, I've got the whole campsite to myself. There are caravans up there which are occupied, I think, but there's absolutely no other tents in this camping field. So that's great as far as I'm concerned. I just got my rabbits friends for company, and there's lots of those on this camping field. Anyway, it's been a fantastic day. I've loved it and I hope you've enjoyed it too. But I'm going to sign off now and say that for now, this is me, the Dorset Rambler, saying until next time, and that will be tomorrow morning. Well, for me, the video won't be tomorrow morning. Till next time, thanks for coming. Well, good morning. It's another beautiful day in Dorset. The sun has been up since first thing, and I'm currently just waiting for my tent to dry. Very dewy in the night, so the tent usually winds up wet even if we don't get rain. So I'm waiting for it to dry so it's lighter when I pack it away. But yeah, it's a lovely, so it gives me an opportunity to have another coffee, which is welcome. So today we are heading west It's going to be a shorter day, I think. Should be around about 10 miles. I've kind of organised it so we did a longer day yesterday, just over 14 miles. Day 3, if I go to Beer Head, is going to be about 17 miles. So I kind of threw a 10-mile shorter one in the middle. But it will involve some climbing later on, so it's not an easy day. Well, certainly not the later part of it. But we should finish up at Seatown is my plan. So that'll be sandwiched between Thorncombe Beacon and Golden Cap. So I'll finish with Thorncombe Beacon tonight, stop over in Seatown and then climb Golden Cap first thing in the morning. Or the day after, first thing tomorrow morning. So that's my plan anyway. And we'll see how that works out. So far so good. It was a good night. Sleep tent, as I call it. So I find that certainly for the first night, I don't go to sleep and sleep all the way through the night and wake up in the morning. I generally wake up kind of every half hour or hour or whatever during the night when it gets a bit hard and underneath me. Because even though I've got an air bed, it's still not the same as sleeping in your bed at home. But I love it. It just takes me a day or so to get used to it. Or my body to get used to it. Anyway, should be a really good day. Forecast is good. The walk is fantastic. And we'll have some great views along the way. So, hope you'll join me. And I will catch up with you later after I've had my coffee. So it was a magical evening yesterday. There were loads of rabbits on this field before I shut my tent up. In fact, there's one over there now at the bottom of the trees near the hedge. And not only that, but there were hundreds of bats as well. They were flying around that tall tree. And they weren't the little bats that we usually get at home flying around the garden. They were big bats. Obviously I couldn't see them, the light wasn't very good. I did try to film it with on my phone, but I don't know whether it'll come out. But yeah, there were hundreds of them. I don't know if they roost in that tree, but they were all around that tree. And it was amazing to watch them. And then when I got in my tent and zipped up, there was a buzzy thing that was doing aerobatics all around my tent. I presume it was a cockroach or something. But yeah, it was just an amazing evening. One of those evenings where you almost don't want to go to bed because it's so lovely to be out. Yeah, it's great. And this is the view from the field that I'm camping in. And down here there's a footpath as well. And quite handily, I've got bins of water right near my tent, which is still on its own. So we are underway on day 2, and that is a really good campsite, I think. I mean, I know last night I was the only one there, so which was a real bonus. But yeah, it's a lovely flat, lots of flat pitches. It's really good. So if anybody's looking for a campsite in the area, I can recommend Home Farm Camping at Puncknole. Really good. There is so much wildlife about there with, as I said, rabbits and bats, and it's lovely to see. I did ask the lady at the campsite, she knew of the bats, but she didn't know what they were. But they're certainly not your average pipistrelle, is it, the little ones? They're certainly bigger than that. Anyway, good campsite. And there's a pub, of course, a short walk away to get a meal. It is incredibly hot already. I haven't even gone a mile yet. Really hoping that when I get up onto the ridge and start to drop down to the coast path, that there'll be a bit of breeze, because there's no breeze here at all. But what a glorious day again. Well, I've gone over the top of the ridge and I'm now dropping down to the coast path. You can see Chesil Beach down the bottom. So last time when I came down here, I turned east and headed up that way to Weymouth. But this time I'm going to head west. And there's a slight breeze, which is very welcome. So I've had some trouble actually organising this trip. I wanted to do a backpack now, before the school holidays are on us. And I was really looking to do a different route. But I came across some issues. I wanted to use campsites, and that's because I enjoy the camping experience, the backpacking camping experience a lot. So for me that means I want to be able to pitch the tent at kind of late afternoon, probably after a good 15-mile walk or whatever, and you know, sit outside the tent with a cup of tea, have a shower, spend some time having a little explore around the area that I'm camped in, that kind of thing. So in order to do that, I think you probably need campsites, or at least permission. You can wild camp, but the general rule with wild camp, of course, is that you do it covertly. You hide away effectively, you pitch late, as late as you can, and you pack away first light. And that's not a kind of relaxed camping experience that I really wanted for this trip. Now the problem you have is, of course, England is really not geared up for backpacking. There just aren't the campsites around. And of course wild camping, as we know, is illegal, and in some ways understandably, I have to say. Certainly in East Dorset people camp on the beach at kind of Sandbanks or Bournemouth Beach or whatever, and of course they leave a mess, and there are beach patrols, I think, to move people on if they try to camp there in the summer. And yeah, I guess, I don't know, you get stag groups maybe of young guys pitching up with a kind of group of them. I don't know. Anyway, it probably gives wild campers a bad name in some ways, when actually if you're a backpacker you're usually extremely careful, and you treat the countryside and everything, you know, with respect. Anyway, I found several routes that I thought looked really good, including one in the Cotswolds, which would have been fantastic. Circular route that takes in all the main touristy villages, which this time would be all right, and a fair chunk of the Cotswold Way. But when I came to look at it, I could only actually find one campsite in the whole circuit. So I don't know how you do it, other than try and ring pubs and farms and see if, I don't know. Anyway, so that's why I resorted to the Dorset coast, because I know there are campsites fairly regularly along the coast. Now back in the day, pre-arthritis days, when I could throw in a 20 to 25 mile day to reach another camp or the next campsite, it was all right. But obviously I can't do that now. I kind of need campsites every 10 to 15 miles, that kind of thing, so I can stop without pushing myself beyond what I can cope with, or what my ankle can cope with. I mean, Scotland is okay, of course. Wild camping's legal there. Parts of Dartmoor wild camping is legal again. It's accepted above the tree line in places like the Lake District or Wales, I guess, but it's definitely not accepted generally in England, and I think that's a shame. And maybe they'll change. Right to Roam comes back in. There are groups that are pushing for the Scotland type approach to open space in this country, so maybe it'll change. Anyway, that's why I've come on the Dorset coast. I mean, I love the Dorset coast anyway. It's a great place to walk, and oh well, it's just amazing, isn't it? And it's a regular place for me anyway, so I am actually loving it regardless. Nice bit of shade just to cool down for a minute. Yeah, interesting. It says Swire. Like a little art installation. Rather nice, I have to say. It's a kind of wood henge. Well, that's a good way to cool off hot, sweaty feet. I could almost go in for a swim. The only thing is, I don't have any swimming gear with me. So that's the view east to Portland in the distance, and we are still on Chesil Beach actually, although it's getting towards the western end of Chesil Beach. And that's the view the other direction where we're heading, and you can actually see, or you can recognise, I don't think I can point to it, but you can recognise Golden Cap with its flat top, and this side of that is Thorncombe Beacon. So my campsite for the night is between those two, and then tomorrow I will go on beyond that. And I can't see, you can see, I think probably Lyme Regis down in here. I don't know if we can see Beer Head, I'm not sure, but it's got to be over here somewhere. I can't see because I haven't got binoculars or anything with me. But that's a beautiful coastline. And the interesting thing about Chesil Beach is that the shingle gets finer along the beach as you head west. So we're getting towards the finest part. It's much bigger shingle at the eastern end at Portland, and the story goes that if a fisherman, back in the old days, if a fisherman landed on Chesil Beach anywhere in fog, he would know where he was by just looking at the shingle. I don't know whether that's a true story or a made up one. Theoretically it's possible. Oh, that was a lovely little spot for 11s. Very cooling, and there's a nice breeze as well. Now we need to get walking again. West Bay 3.5. Well, that was going to be my lunch stop. Could be a late lunch. I don't think I'll get there till 2 o'clock at least, I thought. I think these must be nice places to stay in, either stay or live, I don't know, judging from some of the flowers up there. I would say some at least are residential. That would be a really nice place to live. Strangely, there's one back there with all the windows closed and all the curtains drawn and music blaring out when they look out onto that view. Nights are queer as folk. So we're just dropping down now into Burton Bradstock, and this is a popular place. Look at the car park inland, that's pretty full. So we're still continuing along the cliff tops. Down in the valley is actually Burton Bradstock. You can see the church down there. The beach that we passed just now is part of Burton Bradstock, but it's kind of known as Hive Beach. But it's all kind of Burton Bradstock area. Nice level path. So we are approaching freshwater, I think this is. So we've got to drop down to sea level and then back up the other side. But it's not quite straightforward, because down the bottom there, you might be able to see on the video, there is a stream that drains into the sea. And there's no way to cross that unless you paddle. So you have to go inland half a mile in order to cross the stream and go over a bridge and then walk back out the other side. So I've just realised, of course, that I've got a problem, and thanks to the guy I was just walking up the hill, I got chatting to him, and he's reminded me that the cliff path is closed. So normally you would go inland and then back out the other side of the river and up onto the headland the other side, but because of the cliff falls, that's closed. So you've either got a detour right inland to where the road is and then virtually follow the road, and then drop down to West Bay, but the alternative is to go down onto the beach, and apparently it's reasonably firm, so I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to go across and follow the beach into West Bay, which is just where the jetty is that's poking out into the sea. So I think that'll be preferable. So I'm so glad I bumped into him, because I'd completely forgotten about that cliff fall. I was assuming I was going to do my usual walk. So this is the offending stream, which is a bit wide. And apparently it's fairly shallow as it gets down towards the sea, but that means trudging on more shingle. So I actually think I'm going to head inland and follow my usual route. Oh, I think I'm making the right choice here. I have it on good authority that the beach is reasonably solid to walk on. It doesn't feel too bad at the moment. So far so good. where I've come from. This is where I'm heading to. These cliffs are magnificent. Wonderful orange tone and craggy. Unfortunately, they're also very unstable. And you can see there's a cliff fall just coming up. You can see how these cliffs are being undercut and how volatile they are. There's another one there. I reckon both of those will go soon. Imagine what's going to happen when that lot comes down. You're going to be here, it pays to walk along by the sea, well clear of the cliffs, I'd say. And it doesn't seem the most sensible thing to be doing, to be clambering around on the rock fall. There's another one that's gone comparatively recently. And still people seem to sit below the cliffs. Anyway, we are nearing West Bay now, and my lunch stop. And so we reach West Bay. This lovely little harbour. It is very popular, as you can see and hear. So West Bay is really not my kind of place. It's the kind of place that you get through as quick as you can and get out the other side. But actually, across the other side of this harbour here, over there are some kiosks. And they've got tables with umbrellas. So it makes a nice place to stop for something to eat and a cup of tea.
Yeah, watch your back.
Lunchtime. Good healthy food for walkers. So this is where the climbing starts. Oh, there's another one of those little art installations. Right, the only way is up. So, a last look back at West Bay. On we go. Well, we're up the top momentarily because we've got to go back down again, and you can see where we're going in this. That's Thorncombe Beacon, the nearest peak, and then you gradually go down to Seatown. So that's today's climbing. Well, next climb, I've just done one. So this is where we've got to drop down. This is Eep, and it's Broadchurch territory for anybody that watched Broadchurch on TV. This was featured, and the little kind of chalet down there, that was featured in Broadchurch. And sadly there's been more cliff falls down here, because that little yellowy coloured chalet is getting nearer and nearer to the cliff edge, or rather the cliff edge is getting nearer and nearer to the chalet, which is a bit sad. Well, I've seen this before, all this web. I think it's done by a caterpillar, isn't it? Is it the ermine moth caterpillar springs to mind? Don't know if that's right. Well, we're up the first section. Flattens off a little bit. We've still got the steep bit to come. So you've got choices here. You can either go straight up the side, short, sharp and steep, or you can go off to the right and kind of do a more gentle, curvy, longer route to reach the top. So I will probably do that, I think. And at the top there you can actually see the beacon, Thorncombe beacon. And once I get there, my campsite is down the other side in the valley. I'm getting there. Last little push. Views are amazing. It's worth the effort to get up here. And I've made it. This is the beacon. And it really is a beacon. A very ancient practice lighting beacons to convey news along through the country to London, I think. But that's looking west, so that's my way down now, all downhill, or should be, to Seatown, where I'll stop for the night. And then you can see Golden Cap with its flat top over the other side, and that's first thing tomorrow morning, climbing that. Slightly higher than this one, I think, but we'll get there. But look at the views. It is amazing. So that's where I've just come up, circling this valley. And that's the view east. So you can see West Bay with its jetty. I walked along the beach to there. That's the coast we've walked today. What a magic view. It's worth the effort to get up here just to see that. And there's a seat for me to sit and rest before I attack the downward bit. Yeah. There's another one. Yeah, it's cool. Oh, it's really hazed over now. That's Golden Cap over the other side. Down in here you can just see my campsites, or you can see the caravans parked. There's a camping field down there somewhere. And that's a nice place to walk though, downhill, looking at that view. So that down there is Seatown, which is where I'm stopping. And if I swivel round, I see tents down there. So I'm guessing that's probably my camping field where I am tonight. We'll soon find out when I get down there. So this is Seatown Beach, and in fact over there there's a pub. Can't see what it's called and I can't remember, but right next to it, look, you can see, if it'll come out on the video, you can see a beer garden which actually overlooks the beach. So it's going to be a popular pub. But I don't imagine there's many better beer gardens probably than that to sit of a summer evening. So I may come down here, I may not. See how we go. I think once I get down the bottom I've got to head inland a bit to find my camping spot and pitch the tent, and then decide what I do after that. Well, it's the end of another fantastic day's walking on the Dorset coast. The tent's up, I've showered, everything is drying or airing. My camp towel hopefully will dry in the sun because there's still lots of heat in it. Yeah, it's been another amazing day. Turned out to be 11.25 miles in the end. And I can sit here with a view of my first target tomorrow, which is Golden Cap. So I'm sandwiched between Thorncombe Beacon and Golden Cap, and it looks gorgeous in the evening sun. It's been incredibly hot today, energy sapping hot, but it's been amazing. I mean, the views were just phenomenal, as you've seen. So I'm really pleased with another great day. So I'm just going to have something to eat. Got a cup of tea on the brew, and then I'm going to have a little mooch down to the beach, I think. Might call in at the pub and maybe have a half, perhaps. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to sign the video off at this point. Tomorrow we continue to head west, as I say, over Golden Cap first, and then on to Charmouth, Lyme Regis, and hopefully Beer Head. So it promises to be another great day. And if it's as hot as it is today, it's going to be another energy sapping one. Anyway, I'm going to sign the video off. I've loved today. I hope you've enjoyed it too. And for now, this is me, the Dorset Rambler, saying until next time. Day 3 coming soon.